providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
This fall, Baumgars has everything you need to get your farm ready for the season. Stock up on livestock feed, deer corn, and pine shavings to keep your animals fed and your farm running smoothly. Need tools for your fall projects? Grab DeWalt power tools and grass seed to keep your fields in top shape before winter. From your barn to your backyard, Baumgars has you covered. Get ready for the season with everything you need to finish those fall fix-ups. Baumgars, field, farm, and fall fix-ups.
Are you looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through October at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines, or lock in a 2.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by a qualified standard rate for another 36 months. Whether you're thinking of this year's harvest or planning ahead, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your local Landmark Implement for more details, or check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Schaefer's is celebrating its 79th anniversary with special rebates, financing, savings, and free delivery store-wide.
Update your home with innovative Samsung appliances and save up to an additional $900 with rebates. Samsung Innovation saves you energy and time with easy-to-connect appliance technology. Plus, during Schaefer's anniversary, get free delivery on your appliance purchase.
So hurry in during Schaefer's 79th anniversary event, going on now.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
You've got used to one segment of Good Takes in the morning, but now there's a full show of Good Takes at night. Welcome into Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, welcome in. Back to Tick Weeknights. Raff's Good Take on Sports. Not here to talk about a Husker win, but we'll break down the Husker loss, certainly, as well as some other things that happened over the weekend. But we got the host, as always, Chris Raff. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-565, Facebook, YouTube, X, Al Channel 961. Raff, how's it going on a little bit more of a dreary Monday than usual?
Good evening, Harrison. It is Monday. The more I sit here and review my notes, I just get frustrated. I think I'm just frustrated. I mean, I'm happy because the Broncos won, but the whole Nebraska thing, it just frustrates me. And then watching Monday Night Football, instant replay, it frustrates me. It's just, I don't know. It's just,
what's going on with the instant replay?
I just think that they, like, instant replay. I thought when they brought instant replay in the NFL was to be clear and it had to be clear and concise.
Mm-hmm.
Now instant replay is getting to a point now where it's sort of like, well, maybe, okay. It's like tonight, for instance, Baker Mayfield throws a pass. Or was it Baker Mayfield? Yeah, Baker Mayfield throws a pass to Kate Otten. Kate Otten reaches up with one arm, brings it in, but the defensive back gets his hands around it too. Most of the time you go with what the call on the field is, they said that it was a catch. However, they came back and overturned it, and they gave the interception, which it looked like it was an interception. However, I thought it was clear and it had to be clear and concise, which it was not. And they gave the interception. So I'm just like, so instant replay can do that now. And then what was the other thing that kind of the first down marking. I always be clear and concise. Usually if it was super close, they're always like, call on the field because you don't know if the cameras are at an angle, you don't know if they're straight up, how they are. They came back tonight super close. Call on the field was the first down, and they said after second look, and then they reversed the call. Well, I'm just like sitting and the catch, the Vikings. I know you don't like the Vikings, but Hawkinson's catch in the end zone makes the catch, diving catch. I mean, it looked like a catch to me, but they took like tons of time on replay, came back and said incomplete pass. And it's just like, man, sometimes I feel like they think, well, it looked like it bounced. So I don't know. I get frustrated with instant replay.
Well, it's not perfect, right? And that was the whole promise of it, was so we don't have these mistakes anymore. So if we're going to use instant replay just to make mistakes anyways, or make decisions without clear evidence.
Well, I think there should be a rule. Like you have like 30 seconds to look at it because they said instant replay is clear and concise. In 30 seconds, if it's clear and concise with instant replay, you make a decision. But when you're taking 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and you're looking at it again and again and again and again, well, that to me, that's not clear. That seems like you're trying. I guess it's everybody's cup of tea, but it just frustrates me so much sometimes when I'm just like, you got to stick with the call on the field. You got to, because it's just not clear. But then they come back and they flip it. And that goes for every team. People might be like, well, he's mad, sour about his teams, but it's not even that. I had no horse in the race of any of these teams tonight playing. But when I watch that, I'm just like, come on now. I'm like, did it look like it was an interception? It did. However, I've never seen it overturned before where both the receiver and the defensive back had their hands around the ball. I've always went to whoever they awarded it to originally. So yeah, feel free to text in if you got other thoughts on that subject. But yeah. And then another thing that kind of perturbed me a little bit was I posted the video of the holding call in the Gophers game. Okay. I wasn't saying that one call changed the entire game. I was just saying that's a missed call. And people are just like, you're kidding me. That was just one call. And I'm like, come on now. But honestly, yes, Nebraska played horribly Saturday. However, that call actually did affect the game, because if Nebraska keeps out a one possession game, you don't know. Look at the last game. Raiola caught fire on the last possession, leads us down. They get a touchdown. Look at the Broncos, for instance. Down, whatever it was.
It was 0-19, I think. Yeah.
19-0. Then it was 24-6. However, small things like that, you never know when a team's going to catch fire. So say, for instance, Minnesota, they get called out for holding on that play. They move them back 10 yards, takes them out of field goal range. They pretty much got a punt. Nebraska's still in one possession. But all these Nebraska fans are like, oh, it doesn't matter. But it's like, no, look at the time of when it happened. That's a crucial play in that game. Yes, Nebraska was horrible. 9 sacks. That's inexcusable in any league. But that play was huge in Nebraska being down either one possession or, going down two possession and then eventually, the ceiling falling through. But I'm just saying, but Nebraska fan, it cracks me up so much sometimes. It's just like when it happened, I was like, man, that's big, because as bad as Nebraska was playing, I still am holding out hope that, hey, if you keep a game, any team, college, pro, high school, flag football, if you keep a game within one possession, you've always got a chance. And the people that jumped on me for saying that, to each their own, but I'm just sitting there going, that actually was a big play in the Nebraska football game.
Yeah, you're a lot kinder. I saw that, and I was looking at the comments, and I texted you about it. I was like, so long love you poke the beehive, but if your argument is we can't critique the refs for anything because we lost, I mean, it's just a bad argument. It doesn't mean that we're going to win the game, like you said, if that call's right, but there's going to be situations where it's a close game, and that might be a deciding play. If you lose the game, it doesn't mean you drop all standards for the officiating. And bad call's a bad call. It is what it is.
Nebraska holds on that play. They call holding. They back them out of field goal range. They punt. Nebraska gets the ball and takes it down the field, score a touchdown, have a chance to tie the game with 2-point conversion. It's like,
or what if they get the penalty and then Minnesota throws a touchdown to play after? At the end of the day, I don't care. I don't want to see bad officiating.
Exactly.
Nobody does. That's my point. And that's why I start with the NFL. It's like, I don't care what the results were. I'm never going to ignore a missed call. That's that egregious. It's just bad. You can't convince me it's good because Nebraska somehow lost, or it doesn't matter because Nebraska lost.
It doesn't matter. Nebraska. That's what I heard a lot of us. Well, that don't matter. Nebraska got beat. They gave up. But I'm just like, yeah, but at the time of the situation, if you keep that as a one position game, it doesn't matter how bad Nebraska's playing at that point. If they're only down by 8 points, in my mind, I still think they have a pretty good chance of, scoring a touchdown and getting a 2-point conversion and tying the game and having an opportunity. Like, yeah, I'll be the first one to tell you. I'm not like people were thinking that I was saying because of that play Nebraska lost. I would, in no shape, way, means, or anything was I saying that Nebraska lost the game because of that call. I was just saying Nebraska was taken out of that game because of that call. And that's what I was saying. So,
well, welcome to social media, Raff. For one sentence.
I love it.
Unless you're going to write out an entire biography on your line of thinking, everyone will just assume how you got to that rationale and what your opinions are and everything.
Follow me, Chris Raff 7. I've been tweeting a lot lately.
Yeah, well, every now and then it'll pop off. It's just you don't know how it's going to pop off.
I'm a live tweet machine.
It's always a little bit risky after a Husker loss with your take because people just got venom and they don't know what to do with all the venom that they have. And then they just start spewing it. And Raff, you caught some of that because people were just misconstruing. And I saw some Gopher fans in there as well, having their day on their burners. I mean, do what you will, but no one should ever applaud bad officiating or say it doesn't matter because guess what? That crew, that's not the only gig they have. Like they're going to keep reffing. They're gonna, and if you watch Nebraska football, you probably watch other football games. No one likes to see that stuff. It's just annoying, and I don't like going on the officiating rant all the time. But even in the NFL, you're talking about examples with the review. In that Saints and Bears game, there was a forward pass that they didn't call. They threw the flag down, but then they picked it up, and it was kind of a critical moment. I felt like the Bears were pulling away, but the Saints, if they got this drive, who knows? And then Johnson throws the challenge flag. So they review it. There's no clear line video of it. There's no sideline. I mean, it's a aerial above. You're kind of eyeballing it. And luckily for me, they overturn it. But if I'm a Saints fan, I'm sitting there like, where's the clear and concise evidence to overturn this?
That's me. That is mine. We were down. This has been like 5-6 years ago. We were down at Kansas State. It was Kansas State versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma onside kicks it. The ball was close to going 10 yards. No one really knew. That's one of those decisions. If you're in the instant replay booth, you have 30 seconds. You look at it. Either it went 10, it didn't go 10. They sat in the booth for 5 minutes trying to make a decision. Then they finally ended up awarding Kansas State the ball, saying that the ball did not go 10 yards. But it's like, if it takes you 5 minutes to come to that decision, it's not clear and concise. That's not what instant replay is for. But I don't know. I'm glad when they get stuff, the clear stuff right. But stuff when it's that close, like the TJ Hawkinson touchdown catch that was that. I'm sitting there going, man, that, and then they give, and yes, I'm a Broncos fan, but the Travis Kelce catch, the ball's like laying on the ground, but just because they give him the catch, I was like, see that right there. That's what I don't understand is you award that, and then you take away the Hawkinson catch. I mean, even going back to last week, the Broncos game, Troy Franklin catches the pass, takes half a step, gets blasted. They call it a fumble. Then later in the game, Patrick Surtain does it, and they say that he didn't make a football move after 3 steps. I'm just like, what is frustrating. But
some of my biggest beefs are the stupid like rules after the catch.
Oh yeah,
like you put your toe down, but then your heel comes down in the white. You're out of bounds.
Yeah, it's so
like,
weird.
We make football so much harder than it needs to be at times. Like 2 feet in bounds, good enough. I don't really care where your heel lands if both toes are in at the same time. And at the college level, obviously, you just need to get 1 foot in there. But again, that rule exists. If you plant and that heel comes down on the white, then it's out of bounds. But if you drag just your toe and only your toe all the way to the white, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's all these moves. It's like, well, did he take X amount of steps to like what you were saying? Did he make a football move? It's like, man, what just happened to, did he have possession or not? Was the ball moving around? Yes or no? No? Okay, he had possession. Was he in bounds? Yes. Okay, touchdown.
Yeah,
you make it so hard.
Well, back in the 80s, it's always 1 knee equals 2 feet. That was the big thing in the 80s. 1 knee equals 2 feet. And then earlier this year, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks ago, the one butt cheek out is 2 feet, and it's just like, oh my goodness. It's like, it just continues. It continues on. And it just seems like when you think you've seen everything, something new happens and you're just like, oh yeah. But I just think I would love to be an NFL catch coordinator. So what I would do is just, instead of instant replay guy, I just be the catch coordinator. So I'd be like, catch, no catch, no catch. And just because I think everybody knows what a catch is, but the NFL has went to a whole new level to now I'm not even sure half the time what a catch is. Sometimes I'm like, well, yeah, he dropped it, but I'm like, it'll probably be a catch because, and sure enough, it ends up being a catch. But then sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, he didn't catch that. And they're like, oh, it's a catch. So it's out there. I guess it just depends on which team you're watching, I guess. If you're Travis Kelce, you get the catch. If you're TJ Hawkinson, you don't get the catch.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Again, it's not like the NFL's pressed for money.
Yep.
Put a crew just on certain plays that are going to come up.
Yeah, I even sit there. I even sit there the entire game. I'll have a green button and a red button. If it's incomplete pass, I hit the red button. It'll be up on the scoreboard. Incomplete, complete. Even if it's a clear, complete pass, I'll just still hit the green button so everybody knows green, red, green, red, green, red. And I'll just do that the entire game. And then all will be good. And you'll never even have to go to instant replay for a catch because you'll know right away. Once I see it, catch.
Yeah, you don't have to waste 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Oh, it's but you know what? They love that TV revenue. So sometimes when you get those really long reviews, it's like, whoa, we sort this out. We'll throw it to commercial. And it's like, of course you will. Like, you guys love doing that. Also, I gotta say, have you noticed? Have you seen this? Speaking of just ad revenue, the ESPN Plus Sports conspiracy that's going around, and you can test it yourself.
I haven't watched it, so I'm not even sure. I have it, but I guess I haven't really watched it. What's going on with it?
People are ending up like 4 minutes behind live action.
Oh yeah. I know that.
Yeah. So what? I don't know if it could just be a mistake. Maybe it's nothing, that is intentional. But if you're watching it, they will have these timed ads, and then you're subscribed for live TV. I mean, that's why you have it, so you can watch it live in real time.
Yep.
And then you'll get done with the ads, and then the game will start up. But if you just like give it a couple hours or an hour, and then you just like click on it, you'll be like 4, 5, 6 minutes behind sometimes.
Yeah. Nope. I
And then
know
all of a
that.
sudden your phone will go off, and you'll be like, "Wait, who's just scored?" We're like, "We're at the, 5-yard line on our 5-yard line. Like, do we just get a 98-yard bomb? This is gonna be awesome." And then it just keeps going, and you're like, "Okay, wait a minute, I'm 4 minutes behind the game." Like that, all that stuff is. I mean, that's a whole nother chapter, but the ads in football as well are just really starting to drive me nuts. And then that goes into the instant replay reviews and how long that takes. Like some of these football games just take way longer than they ever need to. And when you have so many good ball games going on, it's frustrating when it just goes to break like every 2 minutes. And unless you got like red zone or 5 TVs, you're just constantly flipping through commercial breaks.
Got to pay those TV contracts. Got to pay them.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you're, well, I don't even know. Who gets paid more? Is it NFL? It's got to be college coaches at this point.
Probably average college coaches, but NFL coach. I know that. 20 million. Who's making 20 million? Oh, Andy Reid. Andy Reid was making 20 million. You got a couple $15 million coaches out there. I think Sean Payton's at 15 million. So he's
okay. So NFL probably still has the belt then.
Yeah, but it's going to be after this year. You never know. Like I said, I think there'll be $15 million coach, if not more, before the end of this year or the college campaign, because I think you're going to have some bidding wars with all these coaches that are getting fired. I mean, now you got Florida open, so that's another big school.
Florida, Arkansas, UCLA, Penn State.
Forget Colorado State.
I know some people are saying, man, if LSU loses a bunch of games, do they make a move? And if that one opens up, I mean, if you got Florida, LSU, Arkansas, Oklahoma State open all in the same, Penn State all open at the same time. Oh my Lord.
And even though Florida State's, the athletic director said they're like still with Norvell, I'd say that his seat is still boiling hot. I mean, if they continue to lose games, sometimes you don't have a choice in backing the coach. You have to go with what your fan base is saying and what your boosters are saying. So I would say that Florida State job is still up in the air also at this point.
Is Lincoln Riley anywhere near the hot seat?
Oh man, I don't think so.
Like Ben Franklin boat a little bit, where he has like Heisman's, he has like all this success, but they never win the big one, quote unquote.
Okay, so speaking of that, I was going to bring this up later in the show. Is Matt Rule going to be in the hot seat?
No.
You don't think so?
No, unless like we don't
anything in this season that could happen that could put him in the hot seat.
We don't win another game, maybe, or we win 6 games only.
Yeah, because it's the way I look at it. It's crazy. Like 2 weeks ago, we were getting ready to see him leave to go to Penn State and be devastated. Then during the week, it was like break the piggy bank. We've got to give him a huge raise to try and keep him here. And then I finished the game on Saturday, and I was sitting there going, he could be in the hot seat before it's said and done. And I people are going to look at me and be like, oh, that's not true. That's not true. But really, where these coaches that are getting fired, I mean, I know a lot of them are pretty quick trigger and stuff like that. But I'm sitting there going, what has Nebraska really done? We went to the bad boys more, Bo, but we've yet to beat a top 25 team. So I don't know. I want this program to be successful, and I want Coach Rule to be successful. I want the staff down there to be successful. I want to win. But then on the other hand, I'm like, you get up in the press conference today and say that your team felt entitled going into that game. And I'm sitting there going, who in the world would think that they're entitled going to the Bad Boy Moore Bowl last year? I mean, it was good for the program that we went to a game, but it was the Bad Boy Moore Bowl. I mean, I'm sorry, but much love to Bad Boy Moores, but that's not the Orange Bowl. That's not the Fiesta Bowl. That's not the Sugar Bowl. I don't know. It's just going into games and feeling entitled. That gives me the shivers.
Oh yeah, because it's also like what to your point, like where's the entitlement coming from? Are you hanging your hat on Cincinnati?
Yeah,
that was week 0. I don't know if you or week 1. I don't know. Do you win that one again with the attitude that's out there right now? I don't know if you do, especially if you've got to go play it in Cincinnati, where we essentially had a home game advantage.
Yeah.
And are you hanging your hat on just barely losing to Michigan? Are you hanging your hat on having to make a comeback on a not so great Michigan State team, or just barely holding on your own against a not, maybe a good but okay Maryland team?
Yeah.
So like,
I was lost. I mean, when he said that they felt entitled, I was like, huh? Entitled to what? They haven't had I guess, like you said, Cincinnati was a good game at the beginning of the year now, or it looks like a good game because of the way Cincinnati's played since then. But I'm sitting there going, I'm like, Nebraska's yet to have a convincing game against a somewhat decent opponent. So it's like, to feel entitled, it's like I feel like Nebraska's still on prove it mode. Like, they've got to continue to be gritty and gutty. And I don't know. I just that was another one of those things where I was just like, how can they feel entitled? I mean, they're still looked at, Nebraska is Nebraska. People look at it as a blue blood, but from the nation looking in, people are looking at Nebraska like they're not as good as what they used to be. I feel like they've still got to prove to get back into that upper echelon and to feel entitled. That's the one thing I did not think that was going to come from that press conference today. I was stunned when he said that.
Yeah. And, it's just crazy. I don't know where that attitude ever comes from around here. Like, for a place that's just constantly spit on and used as like a big target, easy win, there's got to be some pride in there. Like, even if, you feel like you got these guys in the bag, there should be like no entitlement to it. You just got to go out there and prove it, especially because you just look around the Big Ten. Some of these games don't make sense. You look at Texas, Kentucky, even in the outside of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Texas wins that one in overtime. But you know what they did? They at least fought through the entire thing. They found a way to win. It wasn't pretty, but they figured out a way to do it. And, they had to answer for it. But Texas, if you heard them in that presser, they didn't feel entitled to that win. It's, there's still, I think the biggest thing we learned out of this Minnesota game is that there are still major cultural changes that have to happen that maybe we assumed had happened already, but I think that game kind of proves it's still not there.
Yeah. I just felt like they're still in that fighting for respect phase. I've never felt, I guess I haven't, even with the victories or being at 5-1, I still was like, they're still fighting for respect. Like, it's like they haven't, I guess they haven't really done anything. I mean, yes, they like a win in a Big Ten, like Coach Rule says, they're always slugfests and stuff like that. But the eye test, or what you see with your eyes, you're thinking to yourself, okay, they got by Maryland, they got by Michigan State, good for them. They're finally getting over the hump to win close games. However, we have yet to play anybody, maybe Cincinnati, but first game of the year, you really don't know. If we played them now, what would be the point spread now? Would you think Nebraska would be favorite?
Cincinnati would be favored.
Yeah. So it's like, I just feel like, and even like this year with the schedule, the way it's set up, a lot of people are like, well, Nebraska's got a pretty decently easy schedule. Well, I was sitting there. I'm like, okay, well, if we end up rolling through it or just barely sliding by and we make it into the playoffs or something like that, and then get annihilated by, one of the top teams, I go, does it really help us having an easy schedule other than, for just the look of it? Like, hey, Nebraska went 10-1 or Nebraska went 9-2. I mean, does that prove anything if they're not games of substance?
Well, even if we get in and they say it's enough, next year we'll really find out.
Yeah.
I mean, again, just take a peek at the schedule. It's out there for everybody wants to see it. So this is why this year 3 is important. Next year, I mean, look at what's happening to Wisconsin when they got a tough schedule, and it's not there yet. They might not win a game. against a Power 4 opponent.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like, and if you are trying to rebuild and you don't have it figured out yet, and you get a tough schedule ahead, that's what those seasons can look like. I don't want to be anywhere near that season next year, and I don't think it'll be as bad as Wisconsin, even if it does start going that way. But you don't want to be figuring it out when you get handed a tough season. This was the year to not be arrogant. And I'm not saying the entire team's arrogant or they're not working hard, but this is the year to like really be as humble as you possibly can be, because next year you'll really find out if you're all that or not. So you better just lock in this year and take every game to get better, because again, next year, look at the schedule if you don't believe me. Raff, I'll ask you before we go to break. Where does this loss rank in Matt Rule's toughest losses so far?
Rule's toughest losses. I'd say probably top 2 or 3.
I think so. UCLA is my one.
Well, UCLA. Yeah, UCLA, definitely. Well, like this one was the one that you thought Nebraska could win. Like it wasn't like, oh, Nebraska. Yeah, I'd say this one. Yeah, probably 2. I'd give this one number 2, just for the fact that they were on that. This was kind of like that get over the hump game, not only for the team but also for Coach Rule. Like we always seem like we get that 5th win. It's like now do we like I said at the beginning of the year, if we get to the point where we're having like we got to win this to get to the bowl game, and it keeps on winding down to that. For me, that's an unsuccessful year. And if he's in a hot seat after that, then so be it, because you've got to get to a point where getting to a bowl game is not what it's about. Getting to a better bowl game and getting into the playoffs, that's got to be the standard. The standard is the standard.
Amen. Couldn't say it any better myself. With that being said, we will throw it to break. One a little bit long on the first one, but that's all right. Plenty of things to vent through. NFL, officiating, and of course, Huskers fall to 5-2 after losing to the Minnesota Gophers. All right, we'll throw it to break. Don't go anywhere. This is Raff's Good Take on Sports. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm, safe, and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle. It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Get geared up for savings like you've never seen before during Elway Days. Their biggest sale of the year runs October 14th through the 18th, when every red tagged machine is priced at invoice plus $300. That's it. No freight, no setup, no extra fees. Don't miss out on these epic savings. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof, with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location.
Imagine hitting rewind on your life 10, even 20 years. With testosterone therapy from Limitless Male, you can turn back the aging clock and get your edge, energy, and confidence back. If you've lost your drive, sleep deprived, muscle loss, belly fat, irritable, you're not the guy you once were. Get your T levels checked at Limitless Male. More and more men are realizing hormone replacement can turn back the clock. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Husker fans know when you work together, great things happen. At Cornhusker Bank, they're more than your financial partner. With 5 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Omaha, they're your neighbors, your teammates, and your biggest fans. Whether you're saving for your first home, planning your future, or growing your business, they're right here in Nebraska to help you move forward together. Visit cornhusker.bank to learn more. Cornhusker Bank, member FDIC. Doing life together.
Deciding on a college with your high school senior can be a little overwhelming for parents. But applying for money to pay for it is simple. FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, is now easier than ever with fewer questions and faster fill-out times. If you have a high school senior, now is the time to apply for thousands of dollars for classes, books, and housing. Get started, Nebraska, at dothefafsa.org. Sponsored by Education Quest Foundation. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back into segment number 2, possibly segment number 2 and 3 combined. That's my fault. We went way over the first segment, but streaming only so we can afford that type of privilege. Final update on the Lions and Buccaneers. The Lions win that one 24-9. Probably the most disappointing game so far for Buccaneer Nation. And then currently going on, first quarter, 23 seconds left to go. Seahawks have the ball, also leading in this game versus the Texans 7-0. And like I said, first quarter, 23 seconds left to go. All right, Chris Raff, segment number 2. The floor is yours.
How about Jahmyr Gibbs? Man, that guy is fast.
Whew. He's, I don't know where he tops out at speed-wise, but he's got to be one of the fastest players at that position out there, which is a lot to say at that position. I can't. There's not a lot of guys that beat the eye test for me when I'm comparing him to Gibbs.
I think they said tonight he clocked the highest speed in like 2 years in the NFL.
Okay, so yeah, there you go.
So, I mean, he can get up and go, and then he's kind of taken over that primary back. Like David Montgomery gets some carries, but for the most part, they went pretty much completely with Jahmyr Gibbs there. So that was kind of interesting to watch him tonight play, because I think he was close to having over 100 yards receiving and rushing. So,
yeah, Montgomery's still more of that bruiser role for him anyway. So if they have some games where they feel like they can get him on the seams, he's going to be their guy. If they have a game where they feel like they can just run people over, or if at the goal line, short, I think Montgomery's their guy. So they still got a little bit of yin and yang, but Gibbs is definitely taking over as that main guy.
Yeah, he's definitely got some juice. That's for sure.
Well, Raff, I got to ask you just before we do it, because I know your Broncos had the most ridiculous comeback I've ever seen.
Yes.
And we just kind of glossed over it, but I was surprised to hear, you not just start gloating for the next 20 minutes. I'll give you a little bit on it, because that was unreal. Bo Nix became Tom Brady out of nowhere.
Tom Brady.
I mean, seriously, that's an insane, just coming back the way they did in such a short amount of time. And of course, you have the defense to lean on, but you need to put the points up in a hurry, and they did just that.
Yeah, it's a long season. Like it was really weird yesterday. I wanted that victory Yes, for the season and for everything to take place, I wanted that win. But more importantly, they retired they put Demarius Thomas in the Ring of Fame yesterday.
Mhm.
Just so much emotion from the fans and the alumni and the team. And I just wanted that day, for his family and stuff where they didn't have to look back and be like, well, the Ring of Fame was cool and getting the plaque outside, that was great, but yeah, we lost the game. So, and it was kind of weird at the end of the game how things started to just fall into place and just a lot. It was really with 5 minutes and 39 seconds left. It was really weird. I had like this feeling. Denver still had 3 timeouts left, and I was like, "This game is not over." I think it was 24-6 at the time, and I'm like, "This game is not over. If they can get a stop here," and the Giants kind of played a little bit into the Broncos' hands, giving them a chance to play themselves back into the game. They still had timeouts left. That score, the Jackson Dart, who's going to be an amazing player. He's definitely got that it, but he scored and they went back and reviewed it and gave him the touchdown, which was he was in the air when he crossed the line. That was huge for Denver because I was like, okay, they're going to give him 33 seconds or 37 seconds, I believe it was, to get down the field. So it was a wild game. That's probably one of the most vocal games I've been for a Bronco game in a very long time, just for the fact that I was just like wanting to get that completed for the Demarius Thomas and his family.
Yeah, it's always cool when you have a night like that come together the way it did. At 19-0, were you ever maybe tempted to turn it off?
I did say this is terrible. I did say that because I was just like, what is going on? Right. I mean, the offense, this goes back to the Nebraska thing. Like Denver's offense was stuck in neutral, if not reverse, the entire game.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden a spark hit and away they went. And that's why that Nebraska, that the penalty or that should have been called holding. Yes, Nebraska had been stuck in neutral reverse pretty much the entire game itself, but you never know when that something might happen. You never know when Barney might catch one or Isaiah Hunter or somebody, just that spark. That's why to me, every play, if you can keep it within a score, even though Denver was outside of a score, but
NFL's a little bit different though, where you have it's a lot easier to make those home run. I mean, you got freak athletes at college football. It's those comebacks are brutal to come by.
Yeah, but it definitely though. It was a crazy game, but like Sean Payton said, now they find out next week, the bounce back, like these games in history where they've had these amazing comebacks, they've always been flat the next week. So now the challenge is to Denver is can they, continue on and keep that offense going, which is crazy. Bo Nix, he set a record, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns in the fourth quarter. The only guy ever to do that. I don't think that record will ever be broken. Maybe tied, but to go 2-2 in one quarter, that's pretty wild. So I'm guessing he'll probably have that record for most touchdowns in the fourth quarter for a pretty good long time, I'm guessing.
Probably until the day he dies, unless they add more minutes to the clock. Like he's going to be sharing it, or it's his. Like it's almost impossible to do more than that.
They're not adding any more minutes to the clock. If anything, they'll probably shorten it down to 12 minutes so it can be like overtime. As crazy as that is, that's still the most frustrating. Sometimes the NFL I get you want to protect your players, but you play 4 quarters for a winner and then you shorten the overtime to 12 minutes. I'm like, come on now. That's crazy. Half the times both teams are barely able to touch the ball one time and the quarter is already over, or the overtime is over. It's like play the full 15 minutes. Heck, I'd say
just college rules. Like seriously, there's quite a few overtime games in college over the weekend. It worked out fine. No, none of them went to 6 overtimes. I think the most was 2. It's not that long. You're going drive, and I don't know if it's because of fantasy football, because they do have legitimate deals and all that stuff. They make a bunch of money. Why they don't want to go that route and why they choose to play just a set amount of time, but yeah, it's still.
What was that? Was it the Cowboys Packers game? That was the classic, and they just ruined it by being a tie. It's like, come on,
40
man.
to 40.
That's pathetic. You have all these, you're playing all this money and you have these fan bases and all, and it's like, oh, and we tied. And it's like, now what do we do? Oh, you tied, go home. It's like, I like winners and losers. I'm tired of giving a medal to everybody. I want winners and losers.
Yeah, this is American football, not soccer football or soccer.
Exactly. Yeah.
And speaking of too, like that Packers, you go look at the NFC North, and the Lions are now 5-2. The Bears are 4-2. The Vikings are 3-3, and the Packers are 4-1-1. That game might haunt them, because it's just gonna be such a tough battle in the NFC North. Those games are gonna be crucial, and a tie is much better than a loss, but still, if you put that win in there, you just want to shore up those odds. That whole thing's kind of been broken, and they've been trying to figure it out. But the NFL is so slow on some of that stuff because they got all these deals with all these and then, like, fantasy football is a real thing that affects some of their decision making on how they're going to formulate these overtimes. And to me, it's like at a certain point, just who cares? Protect the main product. Everything else will be fine if you protect the main product. And it's not the worst thing, but it's broken. And then I don't know when they'll ever truly fix it, but maybe if we keep complaining about it, Raff, at the end of this year, they'll have a solution.
Yep, we'll see. You never know. I'm guessing probably not, though. Yeah, I got some breaking news, by the way.
Let's hear it.
Lincoln Southwest girls softball team won the state title 4-2 over Millard North, I believe it was. Yeah, over Millard North, 4-2. Big congratulations to my BFF, Reagan Brandt. I'm sure she was key in that victory. She's a heck of a softball player for Lincoln Southwest. Back when I played softball, 10, 15 years ago, she was like this little 3-year-old girl. I'd always call her my BFF. And now she's like probably one of the best top players in the state. So congratulations, Lincoln Southwest, state champions.
Absolutely. Well said. Man, it's crazy how fast the fall sports are going already.
Yeah.
Like we're looking at high school football. I think they only got 2 left.
1 or 2. Probably,
yeah, they only got 9 games in the regular season. So those guys are coming to an end. We just watched Husker basketball in their exhibition versus BYU. Big win for the boys. The Mastodon. I will stand on that claim because I said it even on the years with K-State Tamanaga. I was like, Rink Mass still might be the best player on the team.
First round pick.
Everything he does. I don't know. Well, we'll see what the NBA rates him out as. He's got a unique type of build to him. But I'll tell you what, if you can make that many shots at that height, you're going to get a contract to at least try out. I mean, anyone's going to take that type of shooting. No, I'm not expecting him to go 7 for 8 every game here on out. But you were talking about it, Raff. It was nice to have some faces that we know what we're getting with it. And with Rink Mass, you're getting a playmaker and a stretch big. And then he did exactly that. With Hoiberg, you're getting effort. With Jacobson, you're getting effort. Jamarcus Lawrence, you're getting your point guard. Now, it wasn't the cleanest. You had some guys struggling, shooting. Sanford in particular didn't have a great day, but Sejan as well, you knew what he was going to do. And I was not surprised by anything other than Rink Mass being as good as he was. Pleasantly surprised. But no, that team looked like I was expecting to see. The only thing that did concern me was the inside presence might be a problem this year.
So nobody's answered my question, though. Did we storm the court or not?
I don't know if we did.
I've asked it a couple times. I wasn't sure. I mean, I know it was an exhibition game, but they were what number 8 in the country or something like that.
Yeah, they were number 8. If they didn't, they probably didn't storm it. If anything, they lightly plotted it. Like there wasn't a ton of people in there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they went down there and dapped them up. But it's not like a mob of people came down there.
Storming. Okay, I was just making sure to see how that all played out. I saw that Texas Tech, they're pleading not to throw the taco shells anymore, the soft taco shells. So the tortilla shells, that's it, the tortilla shells. They're pleading not to, because now they're not playing around anymore. Now they're saying what, $100,000 fine?
Yeah.
15-yard penalties and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I guess I take tortilla shells any day over frozen oranges, but
yeah, that's nothing in comparison.
I mean, who was back in the early 80s? What were some Nebraska fans thinking, putting oranges in coolers and then throwing them? What? I mean, oh, Sometimes I hear stuff and I'm just like, I remember it in the 80s. It was crazy. Like you're like ducking. You're like, don't want to get hit by an orange. I mean, come on now, people. The 80s are crazy.
That's I think that's why they're fanatics for you. We just talked about it with Matt Rule. He went from what everyone pull together, go into your mom's purse, whatever you got to do. We got to get the money for Matt Rule to, I don't know if he's the right guy in 1 week.
Yeah.
I mean, it just tells you the entire story of fans. Yeah. I mean, even me myself, I'm guilty. We were 0-2, the Bears. So now we're 1-4 straight. I was in the dumps. I didn't know what to think. I wasn't calling for anybody's heads at that point, but I definitely was not very optimistic at the moment. And things just end up shaking out. So on the bright side for Matt Rule, it just takes 1 week to change the tide. I mean, if you go beat Northwestern like 40-something to 7, everyone's right back on the bandwagon.
But that's what I was thinking about too. It's just like, if they beat Northwestern 47-7, does that bring back their entitledness the next week? I mean, that's where I get kind of like, I'm like, if we beat Northwestern, that's kind of what we're expected to do. So it's like, I don't think they should bring back any type of like, okay, now we're, the gift of football because we beat Northwestern, or even if we beat Northwestern convincingly. But being Nebraska, see, I'm not listening to you ever again, Harrison. This whole 34-10 idea.
Oh my Lord! But don't call me out on it.
I'm going with my heart for now on. And when Nebraska plays in Northwestern, it's going to be a slugfest. They're going to raise up. They're going to play Nebraska. So like I see it being like a 24-17 game now from here on out. I'm not, until they show me they can win by more than a touchdown, I'm never predicting them to win by more than a touchdown unless we're playing, some crazy school at the beginning of the season. Then I'll predict them to win by 40. But
yeah, I've learned my lesson. You're kind of the me. I was just going to give them a 3-point hedge. I mean, the guys can prove it at this point. I don't know what that is with the entitled thing. I can see how fans get in that mode, but as players, again, you just week in, week out, the craziness that can happen, especially in the sport that is football, which has so much momentum that leads into a lot of these factors. I don't know. I will say things could be worse. You could be Wisconsin, or you could be Miami that lost to Louisville.
Well, another thing too is like, speaking about Nebraska is just the offense. And the way to shut down the sacks is to get your running game to the point to where we're not so predictable. Like if you're going to throw the ball every down, the chances of getting sacked go way up because the defense knows that too. Like I was the most shocked guy in America on the first possession, and Emmett didn't touch the ball one time on the first possession. I thought for sure they were going to try feeding him the ball just because he was going back to his home state, that extra juice. And I guess that game started off for me where I was just like, man, I'm surprised, that Emmett wasn't the centerpiece of it. And even if he comes out and has, his first 2 carries, say he carries the ball back to back and he carries for like 2 yards and 3 yards. Well, still you've got 3rd and 5, which still there's a little bit of a question in the defense's mind. Hey, they might come run a draw here, or they might, but when you make it that obvious, and then next, you're 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, it makes it predictable. And you talk to any defensive coach, I mean, that's when an offense is unpredictable, that's when you have them. And I just felt like Nebraska was kind of puts themselves in that predicament a little bit where they, and crazy penalties, once again, you cannot have these crazy penalties. You've got to be smart. Like I want Nebraska to be nasty. Like I do. I want them to be a nasty football team with a mean streak, but I want it to be between the whistles, not after, not doing, if somebody's already on the ground, you just do what you need to do, but don't go overboard. And sometimes I think Nebraska, I don't know if they're trying to be nasty. I don't know. It's weird sometimes to me where I'm just like, you got to think. I mean, that's the key thing. The big thing in football a lot of the time is you just got to be the smarter team.
Well, especially with the offensive line, and it was a little bit of everything, right? Like you have 3 guys coming at you. Okay, so Dylan Rail is going to have to. That just tells you Dylan Rail is looking at a loaded coverage. That thing's loaded. The guys are going to be covered pretty well, so you got to protect him. I mean, it's just there's stuff going on there where you run the ball, right? Like if you know that they're getting pressure with 3 guys at times, 4 guys pretty consistently, and they're loading up in coverage. I mean, you got to run the ball a little bit to loosen that up and make people start paying for it. And then, like you said, you get into 3rd and 5. Well, now play action with Dylan Rail looks a lot better because they have to respect it. And unfortunately, we just got into so many downs where the play action wasn't going to happen because it was 3rd and long. We're setting up back there. It's an obvious passing situation. They're peeling the ears back. And the communication, it's just like we got to be smarter than what these guys are doing. And more often than not, Minnesota was smarter. I mean, you tip your cap to BJ Fleck a little bit, right? I mean, he outcoaches Nebraska every time.
Yep.
I have yet to see a game where we outcoach BJ Fleck.
No, I know.
That's my negative soapbox. You got some positive stuff for us?
Well, have a Raff's good take.
That's better than about the past hour we've been talking. So go for it.
All right, everybody. Today's Raff's good take goes out to a group of people that came together this weekend for Pause for Fun, Bark at the Moon. So it was a bunch of people and vendors got together with their pets, and their pets were dressed up in Halloween costumes, and they went and they trick-or-treated. The pets got doggy treats and stuff like that. So I just wanted to give my Raff's good take out to Pause for Fun and just putting that together for the community. That's super awesome. And I'm very partial to my puppy doggies. So Pause for Fun, your Raff's good take.
Well said, Raff. Yeah, I like dogs. I'll say that's a great take right there. I'll just shout out everyone that's been supporting breast cancer. Obviously, there's been a lot of walks going on. Shout out Advanced Medical Imaging. Might have been this weekend. They already had theirs. But just everybody out there supporting it. We had Barb on, Farrell's FXB trainer with Jeff Nicole. I think she told her story. And just a reminder, get a screening. Guys do, whatever it is. If you got to go get your screening, just go do it. You don't want to deal with it later. So shout out to everybody who's been vocal about that and spreading the message. Chris, Raff, appreciate it as always. We will talk again tomorrow. This has been a Raff's Good Take on Sports. Late Night in Lincoln coming up next. Don't go anywhere.